Hello. So, bad news, I have an injury, and I think it might be a pretty bad one. So basically, is it the Monday? I think it was the Monday gone. I had a shoulder workout, and normally I do jiu-jitsu on a Monday evening. So I try to do my workout. Usually it's chest on a Sunday. Usually I do chest and just all my heavy movements on a Sunday, but because I've recently changed training programs and just because of the holidays, I ended up having to do my workout on a Monday, same day as I have jiu-jitsu. It's an advanced jiu-jitsu class, so it's quite intense. And I don't know, I did this new routine, a lot of shoulder work. I pushed quite heavy sets and I felt really good about the workout. I was like, okay, this is great. And then I went to jiu-jitsu. Class went fine. I was a bit tired. I could feel like I don't usually like to work out on the same day that I have a jiu-jitsu class. You know, because the only other time I've done like heavy movements on the same day, I pulled something, or I had some soreness with something, but that was a while ago and I never did it since that until this Monday just gone by. And yeah, so it was the end of class. I think it was like the last 10 minutes of class where you're rolling with people. There was a lower, I'm a 3-stripe white belt. I think it was a 2-stripe or a 1-stripe white belt I haven't really seen before. Really tall guy, 6'3", maybe 6'2", 6'3", and very heavy. So I was rolling against him, and I wasn't having any issue. The guy didn't have too much technique. He was a nice guy, obviously knew enough, and I was handling him pretty well. But he was very strong, and we just got into one or two positions. I thought he got into a position where he was putting all of his weight onto me and I was holding off. I had my right hand on the floor and I was holding off with my left hand. And I don't know, I just felt something go. That was Monday. It's the following Monday today, so it's been a full week. And I've done a workout or two since. I did one upper body workout and I did a lower body workout that I didn't make a video on because my first lower body workout in two and a half years. So I want to get that a bit better before I show anything with that. But anyway, I've just had a nagging pain right in here on the front of my shoulder ever since. And it's nothing debilitating. I can still move and twist and turn and I have no issues like that. It's just randomly during the day I'll have a pain here and it'll just be completely here, and sometimes it'll go down my shoulder. So after talking to a few people and looking into it, I think Rotator cuff, it sounds like a rotator cuff issue. I looked up a few videos online, did some research, and sorry, I got cut off. So yeah, I looked at a few videos online. It looks like a rotator cuff issue. Maybe it's a tear or just a bit of strain, I'm not sure. I know it's a very common issue. It's a very common thing. I did look it up in the past because I followed KneesOverToes guy before. And yeah, not great. But I did do a couple of tests. I looked it up on YouTube. There was one or two reliable people where they make you do a test where you're pretending to hold a can and you tip it under, you add pressure to here and you let it go. And I don't feel any strain, my hand didn't drop. There was something like 6 or 7 different tests that you can do. And I felt fine. So I didn't make much of it. So regardless, I still have that pain. But up until 20 minutes ago, I followed the KneesOverToes guy. I remember he did some strength exercises for this. I'd seen one or two videos with Will Ten Shinhan and a few other people where they did these exercises. And if you read the comments, it's people in their 60s, 70s, and 30s for all ages, just saying, wow, this is incredible. And I've always heard he's had a really good track record. So, yeah, I looked up some exercises that he gives for it. And also talked to one or two people who know about this, and apparently shoulder cuff injuries are really bad because they're very slow to heal. So when I was talking to someone who knew about this, they said this can be weeks. They had the problem for a year before they were able to fix it. But a big thing is not much blood flows through here, so it's much harder for the injury to heal. So one of them is with the bands, just holding them in front of you, stretching them out, and doing that. I did it 25 times. And then I also did that 25 times. That was just to warm up the muscle and get blood into it. Then I did rotators, I think is the name of the exercise. It's putting your knee up. You have a dumbbell. That's the dumbbell I used. You have the dumbbell like this, and you just leave it down slowly. And it's most important to leave it, to control it going down. The up, from what I understand, isn't as important. And down. So I did that for 10 reps. First time I did this, I did it with 4 kg because I was like, I lift a lot. I don't think I lift particularly not heavy. So let's see. And the 4 kg kick mass to get the 10 reps, I was struggling. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? Like, I can do bicep curls from much heavier weight. I can do preacher curls. I can do shoulder press. I can do all these movements for very heavy weight. But this was tough. And then I did it on my left side, which is the bad side. I actually found that for all of these exercises, my left side was actually, the left side which has the problem, was actually stronger than the right side. I was struggling more to do the exercises on the right side, so maybe there's some imbalance there or something. Yeah. So there's 2 other exercises that I did as well. What was it? A Powell raise. So I did a Powell raise for 10 reps. That was the one I found the easiest for me. But then again, I do lateral raises. I can do a lateral raise for 12 kg. I did that with 4 kg for 1 set for 10 reps, and poof, more difficult than I thought it would be. And then I did 3D lat hinge or something. It's basically where you lean against something. You're meant to do it on a bench, but my bench isn't good enough, so I just lean against kind of a shelf I have. You have the dumbbell, and you retract your lat, you raise the dumbbell, and then you slowly control the descent, and oh my god. Did that with 4 kg, 10 reps. Very difficult. And all the time I'm really worried. I'm like, oh my god, am I going to aggravate this pain even more? Like, cause maybe this is really stupid. But the whole time I was doing these exercises, I didn't feel the pain. I was like, oh, strange. I don't feel any pain whatsoever. That's weird. I've been feeling this all week. I was like, thinking about doing this, by the way. I was thinking, okay, this is at least going to take 1 or 2 weeks. They say to do it 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, I'll give it 2 or 3 weeks and then see. I'm really meant to hit a workout today. I don't want to skip another workout, but today's a really heavy day. And I said, look, just try this, because maybe if I go into this, maybe if I do work out, I'll end up injuring myself a lot more than I should, so maybe it's silly. But anyway, I did 1 set of those, and then I tried to do 25 more extensions with the band, but I couldn't do 25 because everything was burning. I could feel muscles that I never feel. Like even like when I have a heavy shoulder day, I don't feel the burn I've gotten just from 1 set of these really light weights, which is insane. Like, so then I did a 2nd set with everything that I just said, but I did it with 2 kgs, so like literally half the weight. Yeah, I literally just halved the weight on this. That's still really difficult. And I don't have any pain right now, and I've just done this once. This is like magic. But anyway, I know that'd be stupid to think by just doing that once that I've built up anything. But maybe it's just that I've got blood flowing into the area, and I'm working those joints. Because like I said, I did those tests that I looked up online, and I was able to do all of them, and none of them gave me any real pain or nothing really stopped. So I don't think it's a major issue I have. But there's definitely some issue happening. I think I might have gotten lucky. It might be a bit minor, but it did get me thinking. I'm starting to push a lot heavier weights. I'm doing exercises with a lot heavier weights than I ever did, and I never work on my shoulder mobility or flexibility or any of that. I just do my lifts. I don't really warm up. I just get into it and do it. So I think I'm going to add these now, and see what happens. Because I've always... Like whenever I started with shoulder press, I'd do my shoulder press and always my left shoulder would give out. And that's always been my what stops me with shoulder press, from going to higher weights, from doing higher reps. My left shoulder always gives out. But over the last 2 years, I've slowly built that up to a higher and higher weight. So I was like, oh, my shoulders are good, but maybe this is going to be a really good thing. Maybe it's going to help a lot. So I'm going to keep going with this. Might be really stupid, but I don't feel any pain right now. Everything was burning when I started the video, and now it feels fine. It took 10 minutes. I was so worried that, oh my god, I can't work out. I won't be able to do jiu-jitsu for weeks. And you know what happens. Weeks can turn into months, and then you're starting from nothing again. And I don't want a bigger problem. So I'm going to do this for a while. And that's it. So I'm going to go hit my normal workout now. And yeah, talk to you later. Bye.